What's your favorite scary movie? Swallow this.
Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Arrow in the Head Show. Of course, that makes me Lance. The Arrow, the one little picture, would be you, Mr. John Fallon. John, buddy, how you been?
I'm pretty good, man. Lots going on. Good things, bad things. Bad things. I had my first colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Last week, and yeah, it hurts.
Does it? I'm assuming it hurts when it wears off, right? Like you're sitting down, you're like,
I was, they put me to sleep, but I wasn't asleep, kind of vibe. So
Twilight, yeah.
Yeah, I was still feeling stuff. So afterwards, I told the fine doctor, I said, bro, you're lucky. Because usually people, bring me out to dinner, wine and dine me, toss a burger down my throat, and then they get to that level. But, you got there early, so.
That's what you pay for.
Exactly. And, but the good thing is my film Break is actually going to screen now at the Berlin Film Market.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm actually going to be releasing the full trailer pretty soon, the proper trailer. And here's 13 seconds of it.
I'm really sorry about how this is going to go down. I'm going to hurt you. And your mom.
So, all right, let's, before we get the show on the road, what are you drinking?
It's always rough when it's like the few days before payday, and I ran out of alcohol.
Excuse me?
I ran out of alcohol. Something I never thought that would actually happen. But I'm sure other people watching have been down on times, have been up on times. This is just one of those times. So I got a Starbucks cup full of water. But it's pretty good for the kidneys. I haven't taken some time off in a while, so maybe this is good. Maybe I should clean it out,
Yeah, no, it's always
good for the skin.
Take a break, we are mostly comprised of water. So it's good to drink water, right, kids? Drink water.
Yeah, it's a forced break, but maybe it's for the best. So,
well, for me, I'm going to sound as lame as you, to be honest, because it's 8 a.m. here in the morning, and I can't drink an alcoholic beverage with a straight face. So I'm having a green tea in the Arrow.
I got the same cup. Nice.
You do, nice. Well, sorry, guys and dolls, it's not, a proper cheers, but it's tea and water, so we'll live with that, right? Cheers.
Urban on the Rocks. That'll do it.
All right, well, that brings us to this episode of Off the Cuff, which we are going to go back and answer the questions from last week. And I was surprised. I got to be honest. I was thinking we were only going to get a couple that would have to kind of push this episode back, but we have enough to fill up. So that's awesome. And I'm really happy to see people asking stuff because I'm a talkative guy and I think this kind of stuff is fun.
Awesome, bro. Well, let's get to it.
Okay. I'm going to try to do my best to read the usernames, though I haven't really gone over them. So hopefully, I like a Ron Burgundy. I'm just going to be reading the insult live on the air, but okay. I will do our best here. All right. First one's from Nate Kurabellis, Kurabellis.
What up, Nate?
Good to see you, boss. Okay. So the question is, what movie or franchise that you dislike would you want a reboot or to reboot yourself? John, you want to start?
No, you start.
So I'll be honest, there's not many franchises I dislike that I'd want to touch because if I dislike it, I just dislike it. Mm-hmm. I don't have any sort of connection to it, but I always think the one big horror franchise that I've always loved the first one and never really truly loved any of the sequels, maybe bits and pieces here and there, was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So first one's masterpiece, but I think the franchise as a whole is kind of boring, personally. It's just the one I revisit the least. So I guess I'd like to tackle that because I'd probably do the opposite. I would no yellows, no browns. I'd put it like on the south side of Chicago. I'd make it, nice urban jungle. We got a lot of like primary colors, nice and saturated, just the complete opposite. So that would be my big thing. But that's the only thing I could think of because I pretty much like generally all the big franchises, at least the 80s ones in some way.
Okay. Well, I can't really think of a franchise I dislike that I would redo, but I could think of one franchise that could have been and was not. It's The Hidden. Jack Shoulders, The Hidden. It's a action sci-fi starring the great Michael Nouri, who was also in Flashdance and never to be seen again, and Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah. Agent Dale
And-
Cooper.
Yeah, exactly. And they did a sequel to it. I mean, the first film was absolutely amazing mix of action and sci-fi. It's like the Terminator meets Body Snatchers. And then they did a low budget sequel afterwards.
Was it straight to DVD?
Oh yeah, VHS.
Okay. I never saw because I never
VHS,
even.
think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
the hidden 2, dude. Do yourself a favor and don't watch it because it is the worst fucking sequel I've ever seen. Like one of the worst, like up there with Exorcist 2. You know.
Oh. Okay.
So how can you take something as high octane and exciting and explosive as The Hidden and make such a slow, lumbering, talky, non-explosive, zero octane sequel? Like really, it was a complete waste of potential. So I'd redo The Hidden franchise, not the first one, but the sequel and
To continue it.
Yeah.
Next question is from Jackson Todd. How's it going, Jackson? Which horror icon would you like to see get the remake treatment next? I love Jason, and we'll probably talk about him later. I think we need a proper Nightmare on Elm Street. As much as I like Jackie Earl Haley, and I think he was kind of saddled with a bad script, bad directing, and a lot of other crap. I don't know. I always feel that those are the most artistic and the most freeing in terms of what you can do. There's not a lot of guardrails on that series. You could kind of be weird and crazy. So I kind of think that's a cool thing that we could get to. I'd like to see another one of those entries in my lifetime, even if it can't be Robert Englund. I just think that's something that, I don't know, it brought a lot of cool directors, Rennie Harland. I can't think of his name. He did Predator 2 and Judgment
Kevin
Night.
Hopkins,
Yes, exactly.
Jack Shoulder, who
Chuck
did
Russell. I mean, yeah, that to me is like, that was the 80s version of like, you jumped in, got to do your cool thing, you got out and you got a career. So I'd like to see that kind of revamp itself in some way in my lifetime.
Well, it would be Jason, Friday the 13th. Although I'm sure you heard they're redoing it. There's a new reboot that got announced, in case you guys haven't heard.
I heard about the show. I didn't hear about the reboot, but I'm also skeptical in any news, Jason. So like, I see a fucking trailer. I don't know. At this point, I know they're like, oh, it's happening. It's like, yeah, I don't know. We've talked about a lot of stuff. So I'm a little more, I'll monitor the situation closely until I see something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen though, because the TV show's greenlit because of the rights issue. Actually, is the TV show greenlit because of the rights issue?
They're talking about it like it is, though. I don't know how far it is.
Crystal Lake, not Friday the 13th. Crystal Lake something, right?
Supposedly, though, they have the rights to Jason, but I don't know. It's a prequel, and I'm worried about prequels. So let's see. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. That's their problem, not mine. I would redo Jason because it's a franchise that I truly connect to. It's very meat and potatoes, and it's very simple. Although people have tried to overcomplicate it, with some entries I will not mention. Actually, I would keep it simple and gory as fuck, all practical, tits and ass, and dicks and ass too. Equal opportunity. That's how I roll. And keep it simple. You don't need much for a Friday the 13th movie to be entertaining. You don't need it to be 2 hours long. You don't need all varied subplots. No, just Jason, kids, nudity, sex, and violence.
Okay, next we got Beer, Blood, and Body Slams - Horror. I like that. I like that name actually. There's a few questions.
Missing boob in that name. Beer, blood, body slams, but where's boobs? I don't know. Just an idea, bro.
Boobs, beer, blood, and body slams. There we go. All right. So, what are some of the horror movies got you into, or what are some of the movies that got you into horror growing up? What movie do you love that most people hate? Okay. Well, I'm going to jump into this because growing up, it's kind of hard for me because I was able to rent anything and everything. But I can tell you this: for me personally, what is the movie that you love that most people hate? I love Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I know that's controversial. That's a whole thing. And I've had this weird soft spot for Jaws 4. I think a lot of it comes to like, I think I've like, I don't know if it's a fetish, but my entire life growing up in like hardcore snow, I've always thought of like palm trees and the ocean as something I love. And the fact that that entire movie is in the Caribbean with a Weekend at Bernie's 2 shark, it's like, I don't give a shit. It's bad. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's so
Let's
bad,
hang out
it's
in
good.
Crystal. And it's fun.
Yeah.
And all the performances are like really well done. This is what I always want to fight people on it. Like what makes the movie so good is it's such a stupid movie, but everybody truly tries. And that's a cool juxtaposition. Yeah. It's not like tongue in cheek, which I love too. I got schlock, but you know, like Lorraine Gary, like gives it some heart. And it's like for a zombie, you know, shark following you across the
roaring
the country,
shark, like a tiger or a lion.
Going from Martha's Vineyard all the way to the Bahamas. Yes, there's like a psychic connection. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. Voodoo and all. I love it. But John, what are you going to answer her?
Well, I just want to say Jaws 4 kind of rocks. I saw it. It's bad, but it's good. That's the thing with that movie. I saw it on the big screen in Daytona Beach in Florida. And I remember the entrance of the cinema was a shark mouth.
That's cool.
That was cool. And I enjoyed it. I even have the novelization of the movie.
Yeah, that's where you learn it's like voodoo. Yeah.
Yeah. So back then when I saw it, I was a kid. And I thought it was awesome. Of course, as it became a grown-up, I saw that, no, it's not on paper a good movie, but yet it's still a good movie. I don't know. We should do an episode on Jaws 4. I'm going to stop.
I would absolutely love to.
But Jaws 4 fucked the world. And I'll answer his question about the movie that got me into horror, right? That scared me first, right?
What? No, were there some movies that got you into horror growing up? So yeah, what was your introduction?
Easy peasy. I was not allowed to see horror movies when I was a kid. So the first one I saw was The Evil Dead when I was invited, no kidding, in a cabin in the woods with my friend and his mom. And I watched it and it scared the living shit out of me to the point I had to sleep on my friend's floor next to his bed after because I was so scared.
Nice.
So Evil Dead OG is the one that got me into it. And the other one was Nightmare on Elm Street OG again, 1984. It was a taboo. It was a movie everybody was talking about in my family, but kind of like taboo. People are talking about the phone scene and the bed scene. I'm like, I got to see this shit. My parents wouldn't let me. But my aunt babysat me at a certain point and she let me watch it. It scared the shit out of me. But after that boom, boom, 2-punch, I got hooked on horror. And the rest is horror history.
The next one is Andrew Hetfield. I think I know him.
I heard about that guy. Yeah,
He's a big beard. Andrew asks, what was the first horror movie that you remember scaring you? Okay, I got two real quick, and they're weird because it's not gonna be what other people had. So I was actually allowed to watch anything as a kid. I think it's just parenting in the 80s. I was lucky that my parents didn't care. My dad was overseas for the army and doing a lot of stuff, so it's like I don't think my mom gave a shit. But I remember I could rent whatever I wanted for the most part. And I rented Pet Sematary 1 and 2. And I had to be like 6, if I'm guessing, 6 or 7. And I watched both of them. And I'll never forget this. Number 1 didn't do anything. It was fine. I liked Mr. Munster because we used to watch that. So I thought he was good. Thought the cat was cool. The Gabe thing never got me as a kid just because I'm cold. So I was just like, make a new one. But for some reason, the second one fucked with me. Clancy Brown killing his wife and kid at a little age for some reason. It was like I was like, whoa. The dad cop comes back and murders everybody. Just automatic. I don't know, freaked me out, man. Freaked me out. I had nightmares. It was bad. You
deserve it, you little brat. What do you mean make a new one?
Make a new one.
It's a child.
It's young.
You're a child.
And for some reason, I was like, I would have run faster. But the fucking dad coming home. It's like, well, you can't fight dad. I could outrun a truck, I was always a little spry as a kid. I don't know. It just never caught me. But for some reason, that goofy second one with Clancy Brown being so awesome and hilarious scared me. Second one, real quick. Another one I rented probably around the exact same time because I was really young and it messed with me, which is funny because now that we're talking, I think I'm a little therapy session, realizing like what my fears actually are. Because I have fears in life, but they're very specific, and it's like this might be why. Was Rampage, William Freakin, Bean. I can't think of the pretty boy with the long hair that was in it, but I don't know if you remember that movie. Handsome guy, nice little puffy jacket, walking down the street, and like
Red jacket.
Yes.
Rebel without a cause, kind of vibe. Yeah.
But he was real nice looking. He like knocks in this couple's house and then walks in, shoots everybody, and murders the entire family. And I remember just being like, "Whoa, well, that can happen." Yeah, I'm looking at my door, look at the screen, look at my door. It's like, wait, whoa. And that for a long time, like sat deep in me. So those are the two that scared me. Not Freddy Krueger, not Jason, not Leatherface. Fucking Rampage by Freakin' and Clancy Brown and Pet Sematary too.
Can't go wrong with those though. Can't go wrong.
The next one is from Stuntman Mark. I think I see this guy pop a lot too. So Mr. Mark, that's your real name. Pleasure. Either you guys have seen Infinity Pool? I'll be honest, man, I haven't. I know they're saying that the Sundance one was uncensored or unedited, or there's something, and then the one in theaters is. So I'm just gonna wait. I like Cronenberg's Son. I like Possession and Antiviral, but I got to be honest, man. Theaters are tough to get to normal in life. I don't want to pay $25 to have some guy talk, so I usually wait anyway. John?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you're not a big theater guy either, right?
I went to see Top Gun. I used to be. I used to like see everything in the theaters. Growing up, I would get on my bike and see, Poltergeist 2 and Karate Kid 2, but theater experience has changed. So, yeah.
I actually almost never go. I saw Megan.
Me too. Actually, fuck me too. Oh God! But I had to see it because my chick, I ordered one, so she wanted to see it. It was.
It's fair. Yeah, no, people
I would not have gone to see it. Fuck
people talk in theaters or on their phone. I don't know. The theater's dead to me. Not unless it's a boutique theater like the Music Box. I got to be honest. People treat the theater like they used to treat the mall. Nobody's there to watch movies. They're there to hang out, and it's like, I'm too old. I want to watch a movie. If you're hanging out, talking, and trying to get laid, that's awesome. But we're not in the same vibe anymore, so it's like, go home.
They actually treat it like their living room.
Yeah, it's the mall. The mall's dead, so they go and like hang out.
On my phone. Oh,
I know. The best experience I could have is when somebody's just doing this and their bright phone, and it's right in my face. That's like the best time. I'm like, oh, they're not talking. Whoa. No, it's sad. So, but hey, I got a big TV, I got a nice little sound system, and I have a firearm, so nobody's talking in my house.
There you go. Bada boom.
Okay, next is Anthony Soto. I love that everybody's like using names. I don't know if these are real names, but I love that nobody's even having like a wacky name. It's just first and last name. Anthony Soto. It's nice to meet you, my friend. All right, what are your top 3 most overrated horror movies? Johnny, want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's my top 3, but it's definitely 3 of them. Paranormal Activity. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. Outside of like the ending scene, jolt, shock, whatever you want to call it. I thought it was a bland, lumbering bore fest, really. Actually, we answered another question about franchises that you hate, that you would, reboot. I wouldn't reboot it because I hate it. But I hate that franchise. The entire franchise is absolute dog shit to me. I think 3 was actually okay. I remember liking 3, but outside of 3, 2 was even worse than 1. Now I remember 2 was.
I never saw 2. I got to be honest.
Anyways,
I saw 1.
Activity. That franchise, man, it just goes to show. De Palma's Carrie. Although not, dog shit like Paranormal, because there's some really actually classic stuff going on, some really innovative stuff going on. The split screen and the camera angles and the camera work and performances too. Sissy Spacek and what's the chick that plays the mom? What's her name?
Oh, she's famous.
That chick. She's famous. But I find the movie very boring. I find it has not aged well. John Travolta makes a fool of himself. I mean, this guy's a teenager. come on, he's not a teenager, man.
Remember in Greece when he's like talking about like trying to sleep with the girl, they all look like they're 60, you know,
I know.
thinning hair. Tell me more.
Yeah, exactly. And I just found it infantile. Maybe it's the thing of seeing adults playing teenagers, and it just didn't register with me in that particular film. So yeah, I don't think I'll take Blowout over Carrie any day in terms of De Palma's work. And the other one would be Midsommar.
Oh, you're not a big Ari Esther fan? I guess.
I liked his other one there, Hereditary.
You liked Hereditary?
Except for the last act, where I thought the film kind of fell apart. But I liked it up to that point.
Was Midsummer boring for you, I'm assuming?
Midsommar was just basically a very blatant ripoff of The Wicker Man. And as opposed to the other film, which I have a hard time pronouncing the title, every plot turn was telegraphed. I could tell everything that was going to happen. And you had great visuals and stuff, and nice cinematography, but the fact it was so predictable, and also I felt they had a lot of look at me moments, like going overt with gratuitous gore that was just there for shock value. But when it's blatantly for shock value, kind of like a Serbian film, for example. That movie's so like, I'm going to shock you. I'm going to shock you. I'm going to shock you. And I'm like, you're trying so hard. I don't give a fuck. It's, I don't give a fuck. So I felt the same thing with Midsommar, come on. I'm going to nail you. I'm going to nail you.
I mean, it's a little
outright, by the way. But, the fact that I'm seeing you try so hard, I'm like, yeah, no, you could keep it. So that's it.
It's funny for Midsommar. I liked it, to be honest with you, but I have seen quite the backlash on it. I think it's one of those movies that I think it's a good movie. I had a lot of fun with it, but I think it's one of those movies that's its own success, it's its failure, because everybody kept kind of jerking it off, and it's like, well, it's not a masterpiece. It's one of those things. That's why I took it. I said, oh, it's good, I liked it, and everybody's like, oh my god, it's amazing, and then the backlash happens. But I'm not going to fight you on that. I love Hereditary.
I didn't like it out the gate, so it's not like
sure. But I'm saying that this is a movie though that a lot more people are on your side now. I believe. I think there's been a backlash to it, because it was hailed as something more. But I like the guy. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. He has a new one coming out that might be good with Joaquin Phoenix. So for me, I'll be honest, it's kind of hard because when I see something that says, the top 3 most overrated horror movies, I assume that means classics. So I went back to the classics and I was like, okay, which ones do I not connect with? Because I try to be nice about this, because overrated modern movies, I don't believe are rated fairly. I think classics had a little more oomph to them in terms of, now anybody could be in Rotten Tomatoes. We could review bomb something. We could do the opposite and review jerk it off and make sure it's amazing. So I can't really trust ratings now, unless it's the last like 15 years. But so I got 3 classics that I would say I respect, but I do not connect with at all. In terms of, I don't feel attached. I wish I did. I feel kind of lonely. Carrie, John, I completely agree. I think it's a good looking movie. I'm glad it helped King's career. I think it did a lot of good. Maybe I saw it too late. I saw it in my 20s, but I just was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Cool camera work, but man, I'd never connected with it. It's not scary. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
But again, fear is subjective. So that doesn't mean that if you think it's scary or bad, but it just wasn't for me. Another one, and we've had a whole conversation about this, is Suspiria. I think it's a pretty looking movie. I love the colors, but man, whew. But that remake though, huh?
Yeah, that remake sucks so much ass, but yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm sure you did. Yeah, you would there. Where's your Freddy's Dead poster again? No, never mind. Let's move on.
It's over there.
Let's move on.
All right. The last one, and this is gonna, I'm sure, piss some people off, is The Shining. I think The Shining is a beautiful looking movie. Beautiful performances. I saw it when I was a kid. It wasn't scary. Teenagers wasn't scary. 20s wasn't scary. I don't find that in any way tenseful, but I also, Kubrick to me is in the realm of like Cronenberg or a Lynch, where it's like you have to be on board or you're not. I think I respect Kubrick more than I actually like him. Does that make sense?
Fair enough.
Like I'm not stupid. I could tell that this man knows what he's doing, but it's like it doesn't catch me. That being said, before the internet hates me, I think the prettiest thing in the entire world is that ballroom hall with the bar.
Yeah.
Like if I could just hang out in that place for the rest of my life, that's where I want. If I could have my room look exactly like that place, and the lights in the bar and everything's gold and gaudy, I love that shit. I love it. But yeah, man, just wasn't. I know, just I don't love it as much as other people.
You don't like great movies like Suspiria, OG, and The Shining. Good to know. Good to know.
I think I have an eye for pacing that I might want to tweak a few of these old movies, man.
Okay, man.
Okay, next one is from Tim B.
What up?
Good to meet you, Tim. What are your guys' favorite TV shows, horror or otherwise? I'll start off. I can do this quickly. Man, I grew up on some old school stuff that's crucial to who I am as a person. That's going to be Seinfeld. I love the cynicism. Parker Lewis can't lose in terms of the weirdness. Pete and Pete was just the Twin Peaks of children's TV shows. And again, let's go newer. I liked Twin Peaks. I like the return, I like the old one. Leftover, Sopranos, Newsroom, Lost. I like a good story, man. You do it well. I'm all in. Though I think we're probably past the golden era of television now. I think now we're getting a little more choppy waters, but I think I lived through a great life. John?
Oh, easy. The X-Files was a huge.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I agree. I apologize. I should be on my list. Season 6 is a masterpiece, or 1 through 6 at least. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty. You okay? Can I go?
Yeah. Well, I feel embarrassed. Like I love the X-Files. I have it right there. So it's okay. I should have mentioned that. I'm sorry.
It's all good. So the X-Files, which I remember, I used to get on my bike and go to Burge's house, Joe Blow, and we'd make plates of nacho and watch the X-Files every Sunday together. That was part of our friendship, our growing friendship. The X-Files, Seinfeld as well. Seinfeld is just a favorite. Cheers, both the Diane and what was her name? The character of Chrissy Alley's character. What was her name?
You gotta remember, you have a few years on me. So Cheers was actually old when I was little. So
okay,
that's like my dad's show. Sorry, buddy.
How? Anyways, if somebody remembers Christy Alley's name in Cheers, her character, please spit the comments.
Oh, is she a second era character? I didn't know that. I thought she was always there.
Because at first it was Shelley Long, and then she went off to do
the
her
blonde hair girl.
Yeah, film career. So they replaced her with Kirstie Alley. So
how about this for you, John? I'm going to start watching Cheers.
Dude, you would love Cheers, man.
Sure would. Yeah, well, because who's the mailman guy I love because he sounds like a lot of people growing up I knew.
Yeah. Ratzenberger, Cliff Clavin.
Cliff.
Yeah. And Norm. Norm. He's the barfly. You'll love Cheers. I can't believe you never watched Cheers.
I mean, I've seen random episodes growing up, but it wasn't. It was like I said, it was already old when I was a kid, so I'd watch with my dad. I was more Married Children was more my thing.
Okay. Three's Company.
Man's got to relax.
Man's got to relax, right?
Yeah, big time. As you can see, he marked me. He marked me. Millennium, I used to like. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I guess I'll toss this one in there. Actually, as a kid, it was Dukes of Hazzard and Knight Rider. So leave it at that.
Okay, all right. Just Murus, M-U-R-S-E. I think that's a play on something. I'd like to know Michael and Jason's workout routine, diet, and macros, and most importantly, how much longer Julius would have needed to train and spar before he could take on Jason. I'm not a fitness guy. That's why I'm skinny and frail. So, John, my friend, I don't really. I've heard the word macros before. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
You're a funny guy. How the fuck should I know? I guess they both bench a lot, run a lot.
Yeah, cardio.
Because to be able to to impale people into walls or exactly. Power walking a lot, especially Jason. Michael is more slow walker, but Jason has sometimes he runs, sometimes he's power walking. So and they definitely have a high protein diet, so a lot of eggs, steak, chicken, broccoli, the usual stuff. And Julius was an idiot. He could have had Jason, but all he did was jab right and pretty much jab right to the body. No hooks, no uppercut. You're jabbing and, across in the guy's mask, bare knuckle. If you get an uppercut, you get under there, man. You might have knocked him out. So Julius, such a great boxer, only knew 2 punches, and he should have learned a bit more. So there you have it.
The next one is from Zombie Victim.
Yeah, it's a big T, yo.
Oh, full head of hair.
Big T!
Must be nice. If you could make your own sequel, remake, or whatever in the big 3, which is Nightmare, Friday, or Halloween, which would you choose and the route you would take?
Well, I already answered it.
You're okay. So
on you.
I'm actually going to do the same thing. Here's the deal. I've been thinking about this for years. I'll make it very quick. I'm going to also do a Jason movie, right? But here's what you do. There's this thing called Batman Gotham Knights that came out a long time ago. I'm sure, I think the Animatrix did it as well. But they focus this on like these kids that are like, hey, not telling stories. And they're all kind of repeating like campfire tales of Batman. So every kid's version of Batman is like different. And it's really cool. It's all perspective. So my pitch is this. Let's do Jason the Snow, and it's going to be Kane Hodder. And that's the wraparound story. And he's chasing these kids and killing everybody in between. And they're hiding in this, ski resort or something that's in the snow that makes sense. And like as they're hiding out and as Jason's kind of getting them, they all are telling stories they heard from Jason. Then we could cut to different types of Jasons. We could bring back Derek Myers and other kinds, fast Jason, slow Jason, human Jason, zombie Jason, and intercut with these little things and have Kane be the wraparound story. So everybody gets their Jason. I want a 2-hour movie Jason. I want different tits. I want different male asses. I want different kills, different eras, different versions of Jason. And we all end in one movie so that we have it finally. And that worst case scenario, I can walk away because that's all I want to do is walk away because it's going to eventually screw it up and make me sad. Boom.
Golf clap.
That's all I got. I'm sorry.
Hey, man, it's good. I wasn't busting your balls, man. It's good, man. It's a unique idea for sure. I really like the part about male asses. So there you go.
Well, of course. I've worked with many women my entire life, known many women. I don't know if they really want to see a bunch of dick. I feel like they're more the ass
They
people,
don't. They usually don't. No.
A girl once told me, she goes, we
want abs, they want chest, and they
love
want ass,
the illusion to the dick, not the dick itself. And I'll never forget that. I was like, wow, okay, fair enough. There really is a difference. There's a difference. For Mr. Fallon, in your experience working in the industry, has there ever been something along the lines of a true story or even a work of fiction, like a novel or short story, that you've thought to yourself, now this is something I would love to bring to life in film, but for whatever reason, rights issues, funding, or other factors, became a major roadblock?
Yes. Thank you for asking. The Knights Templars. So, my first film, The Shelter, had me get into theology, which then led me into the history of Christianity, which then led me to the Knights Templars. And I wrote a script with my co-writer, Karim Sherigan, called Heretic. And we were set to go before the pandemic, but then the pandemic hit. And then there was a war in Armenia where all of our locations were locked. And the Armenians lost that war. And that put the nail in the coffin for that. So, but there's movement now, resurrection, if you will, wink, wink. So we'll see what happens. And another thing I would really love, a story I would really love, and I don't think rights issues would get in the way of that, is again, I know it's theology, but the story of Paul the Apostle. Which is just just a story on its own. It's an amazing story. And they were almost going to be, they were supposed to do a movie with Hugh Jackman for a while, going to play Paul the Apostle. But I think probably the pandemic also stunted that. But I think his story is just incredible. So I would love to make that or see it properly done. That's it.
A budget.
Yeah, with a budget and not, Hallmark style or whatever.
Yeah, not done, not in Tearflix.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's it. I'm hoping I got all of them, guys. If I missed something, let me know. We'll put it on the back burner for when we do another one of these. But that's it, man. It's been fun. It's good.
Yeah.
It keeps me young. It keeps me sharp. I'm like, okay, what are my thoughts on things? Yeah, all I do is like, work. But it's good to sit back and be like, okay, kind of conceptualize ideas and thoughts. So good to hang out, John.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everybody that took the time to send us questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we're going to do this every week, but let's see how it goes, and maybe once a month. What do you think?
I'm not a big fan of timetables, but I think we'll do it again. But it won't be, let's gather some questions and let it marinate. But yeah, I mean, because why not? The
Like
more,
I
the
said,
more the merrier.
Maybe once a month, and I'm just fucking. And that's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting us. Spit some comments, talk to us, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, buddy.
Your fucking water. Then again,
I know. It's so sad.